Let's get right to work, okay? So, let's get to the beginning over here. Get my mouse. There we go. Cool. All right, let's go to work. Pen. There we go. Got it. Okay. First off, notice on the weekly ES chart, we have sort of built this little hammer over here. You can see that we have the top sitting right over here, and looking like we're getting ready to bust up into the air. Okay? This is a double bottom. You can see that. Number 1 over here, number 2 over here. This is our middle, which normally gets broken, so that shouldn't really do much. I mean, that's really the target for now. I'm seeing, like, a big picture, this is just new highs coming, basically. So, bulls seem to be back in control. As we start to move down a little bit, into some of the little bit lower time frames, so the daily chart, you'll see that we've hit this level over here like 6 or 7 times. Right? 1, 2, this guy got close, 3, 4, 5, 6, yeah. Every time with a higher low, yet we still haven't really broken through yet, right? And I still see this piece that's sitting over here with this low. If this is the middle of the bottom over here, there should really be one more test of this 200 moving average. You see it over here? Before we really break out, it should, but it doesn't have to happen. It could just take off. I don't really know yet. Obviously, we had a missile strike on Friday night. The markets are probably going to give a quick dip down, I think, at the open, and then just retrace the whole thing. It doesn't really have a major effect on what it does. I think they're going to try and spook out the longs one more time. I wouldn't be surprised if tonight we see, like, a back test one more time, just stop out all the people who stops are underneath over here. I think tomorrow, during day session, we're back up into this, we're above 2,700 plus. So that's what we're looking at over here. I think, a quick washout maybe tonight, and then, think long starting tomorrow morning. Okay, so yes. I think the target for the week is probably close to like 2,750. Go back there 1 second, take a look at it. Fresh supply on the daily is, that's the level I'm looking at over here. We're going to retrace, this whole air thing over here, this area, and, I think we end up somewhere over here, 2,750. Okay? It's going to probably be the top of the Bollinger Bands. And then notice that we've recaptured the middle of the Bollinger Bands on the daily chart. Over here on Thursday, we closed above it. On Friday, we tested back below, closed above. That's done. So that test is finished. We're now into the upper part of the range, where we started to, come and maybe test the top of the. So I'm pretty sure that we're going to see a nice rally this week. Again, barring anything crazy happening in but if everything stays the same, I would think again we look for some kind of a watch out and test over here someplace, go back test, get rid of these people over here with their stops under there, and then the long start over here someplace. Okay. So we'll watch for that. That's exactly what we're going to be planning for coming up. Okay, so Monday definitely want to be long. Let's take a look on the lower time frame we got going on over here. So here's our 60 chart, and got really close to this 2,700 number. We got up as far as like 2,680. So there's some supply up here, right over there, and then again, this is the 2,700 is where the big resistance is going to come. We're going to pop up there, and then a back test, to the 2670, 2680 area down back, and then we'll start chopping back up here. There's the 2750 that I think is probably the target for this coming week, somewhere right around over here. And so we're going to look for breakthrough here. We'll hit, oops, I went too far, sorry, let me fix that. Bust through here, I did it again. My mouse gets to go really fast once I start dragging it. So let's do it nice and slow here, and then a little further, right? And then after that, we're taking a back test to here, and then end up somewhere over here for the week, something like that. That's what we're looking at coming up, okay? All right, any questions for ES you can ask, otherwise I'm going to do a Q. And you can see that again on the weekly chart. That's looking pretty strong. We were able to get above last week's high, so we turned that into a hammer candle. Couldn't quite close above the high, but got damn close right there. And again, there's so much air up here. Right? Look over here on the 240 chart. What are we looking at? There's nothing all the way up to 68.50. There's zero. Look back here. There's nothing here. We already cleared all this mess. This is just waiting to pop through the top. Okay? So that's what we're expecting. Again, you know, something around 7,000 is the target for NASI up here. Okay? That's what I'm seeing here for sure. I mean, there's nothing here. Again, notice that there is this little blip right over here that's not yet so much on this side. It could be, again, the same idea. We wash out some of the longs, right? Again, the same thing. We have all this higher highs back here. One more, you know, push back, clean out these guys, and then we just take off again. So that's exactly what I would expect tonight. You know, on the open, we'll probably gap down. Everybody's missiles, hungry, scared, and all kinds of bullshit that doesn't mean anything. And they'll wash out the longs. And then the real long will start after that. Target for this week, NQ, 7,000. So it's a really nice move up. Definitely want to be part of that. Okay. Let's go take a look on the little time frame. There's our 60 chart. Okay, we've been making higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows over here. Even though this is sort of a channel, it was an up channel. Over here, this whole mess. There's the lows, there's the highs. Over here, and then late Friday we got a little blip down over here. It's whole nonsense. You know, one more back test. You see this thing over here? Somewhere in here, 65, maybe something like that. We get a nice scare out tonight. We push back into one of these zones, and then we turn around and we just blast through the top. Okay, that's what we're looking for on NASDAQ. Target 7,000. So far, so good, right? Everybody with me? Moving on. Cool. Okay, keep on going, baby. Crude. So, obviously a very bullish week with crude, and obviously also a lot of it has to do with what's going on, you know, in the Middle East type stuff. Very nice engulfing candle. That all things being said, we're really in a channel daily chart. Okay, so we get above the high back here, right? And now we really haven't broken through the top of this sucker just yet. I don't really think we are. I think maybe we'd see 68, possibly. But I don't think we're getting to 70 yet. You know what I mean? The top of this zone is 70, 69, 50, 70. Where, you know, to get above here into the real air, 75, 80, we're talking about summertime. I don't really think it's now. I think we're actually going to get a little, you know, maybe a slightly high Monday, and then we're going to start the back test into the channel again. And then somewhere over here, I don't think we're going to break out of the channel. Sorry about that. I'm sure we're a little too far again. We're either going to back test, you know, somewhere over here, depending on how long it takes to get down there, right? Somewhere around 64, 63.50, something like that. Maybe this level over here. You see how we had this little breakout area back here, and we just took off, and we didn't come back there. I think that's what we're going to see before we get to 70. Before we take out this whole thing, I'm going to blow up the daily chart now. We need to have a little pullback. It's just too strong of a move, too fast, too soon. This whole 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, bang, 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 gets above here, you know, outside the daily bands. I'm going to zoom out a little bit. And, you know, now we're getting really stretched. I mean, the zone on the daily chart over there goes all the way up to 69 and change. And by the way, it was fresh. Okay? So I can't see us getting all the way up there without this little pushback that I'm talking about. It's not so little. It's like $4 or $5. So I'm not bullish so much anymore. I think the bulls are just about almost finished. So if you're long crude for any, you know, period of time this past week and you're not out yet, I would start to look to exit the longs and potentially, you know, start thinking about getting short here for, you know, a pullback for a $3 or $4 type item, you know, back into the $63.50 to $64 range. That's what we're looking at over here. Let's take a look back here on crude. And there's our daily, sorry, there's our 60 chart. Let me see where the next supplies are up there. I might even have to draw it because we haven't been up here in so long, and this chart rolled over. Yeah, and there you go. You're going to get a little bonus now. We're going to go find some supply. Let's go look for it together because I haven't put it on my own chart yet. And okay, let's make that crude supply. And then we'll go shopping for some supply up there, see where it's sitting. Crude supply. All right, baby. There you go. Crude, Canadian. This is crude supply. Okay, and default. Okay, and we're going to zoom out. And Let's go see where prices intersecting that line. How far back do I have to go to find it? Looking for supply above. There we go. Oops. So look at supply somewhere over here. Oh, I actually have one up there at 70, 69 and change. So I do have supply up there. Oh, I do. Okay. Well, there's a zone here that I missed. So let's take a look at why I didn't draw it. I'm not sure. But it's definitely there. So this is current high. So there's definitely supply right over here. There's no question about that. So that's 68, basically $68. Oops, that makes total sense. Around 68 up to 68.04 or 05. I mean, I can put this down and drop over here. So it's about 20 cents or so. That's where we're looking at. We could get up into that zone. It's possible. I don't think we're getting through that 68 and 20, 68.20 change number, and then we start looking for pullbacks. When the 60 slips over. That's when you could start getting short for for a couple of days, look for a pullback into the 63.50 to 64 range, and that's what I think we should see for crude. I think next week we're going to have a down week. We're going to have a red candle on the crude. Okay, let's move on to gold. Again, feel free to ask questions. Nitin has a question. Okay, let's get there. Yeah, go ahead, buddy.
Hi, Joe. On 60 crude, the demand zone that you have right now.
Mm-hmm. Demand, you said, or crude?
Yeah, demand zone on 60. The 66.35. Is that
to 56?
Is that because of the doji?
Yes.
Okay.
This is the zone. This is the zone right over here.
And since it already came in a little bit, you just...
It touched one time over here. As long as there's no bodies, the zone is still valid. It made a new high. Made a new high after it left the zone, so it's still valid, no problem.
Good, thank you.
If there was a body here, I would pull the proximal line underneath the body, but it's just a wick, so no problem to leave it there. And again, because it made a new high after it left the zone, so, over here, when the zone was created, basically this one.
Right,
thank you. High. Yeah, so it's okay, no problem. Okay, cool. So far, so good. All right, good. Next. Let's go look at gold. So we had a pretty decent week on gold, but still major rejection of the highs. I'm very skeptical. Gold breaking out over here. I think we're still going to see this. I think I'm crazy, but I still think we're going to see under 1,300. We had the opportunity right over here to take out the top very easily. We were rocking and rolling, and then we didn't get just a little pullback. I mean, we got clocked. We got killed over here. Massive sell-off. This candle on Friday is going to be the telltale sign, which means if we get this continuation to the upside over here, we go back here, I'm throwing in the towel on the shorts. I'll say we're totally wrong and blah, 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 and it's time to break out of the top, but I don't think that's what's going to happen. I actually think we're making a lower high over here on the 240 chart, and we're going to break down, and we're going to start taking out all these lows over here because the market's going to start rallying in. Gold, again, got the pop for what's going on in the Middle East and stuff like that. So, I don't really see it really taking off much more. It had the opportunity to keep going up here, and it just was destroyed. I mean, it lost like $35 in one day, right? Massive, massive rejection. So there's demand over here, right in here, and that's why we saw this little pop on Friday afternoon. But if we don't make another high after that, and we just roll over here, we're done. There's no more demand. This level over here will break down, and we're back under 1,300 very quickly. So I'm not bullish at all on gold. I'm actually interested in attempting some shorts over here. We'll know very soon because we're really at the level where it better make a decision. Right? This is the 60 chart. And you'll see that we came right into this level of demand back here again, right? That's the origin. We touched it right here on Friday after this massive rejection up here, right? And we came right to the supply. And right here, you see we started getting a lower high and then price closed, last minute type thing. But there is just total air underneath us over here. Unless this zone pops, they're screwed because we're going to get the lower high. This thing is done. And look how much air is underneath us. We're at 1320 before you blink. This is a $25 fallout right here, massive. And now you've got exactly what we're looking for. You see this over here? You're going to have that on this side, and it's over this big head and shoulders, and bang, it's over. We're under 1,300 very easily this week. Okay, so gold is in a precarious situation right now. I'm looking for it to actually collapse. I don't think it's going to make it. So we'll see what happens on the open. Somebody has a question. Let's see who that is. That is my man Eddie. What's up, bro?
Hi, Joe.
How you doing, Ed?
Good.
What's going on,
Quick
bro?
question.
Good?
Your
Yep.
proximal on gold, the 1349.70. Is that one that you adjusted after it hit the
yes,
first
exactly.
time?
It's exactly what happened, my man. Yep.
Okay.
The zone was
What
here.
Originally? It was
It was over here. Yeah, it was underneath at the top. It was over here, right here. And then we popped into it, and then obviously this is where I should move down. The distal was always up here,
right.
And this one got moved up a little bit when we had this big red candle over here. So, yep, absolutely got adjusted.
And the reason you had it at the lower one instead of higher up originally
was
why? Because of the hammer?
Yeah, this inverted hammer right over here, and then the wick on the next candle. See this wick right here, wick into the hammer?
Yeah,
right there. Got it? Okay, cool. But yes, I adjusted it after this. Right here. Okay. So yes. Good eye, Ed. Thanks. Okay. There we go there. That's the story with gold. I mean, in a little time frame, you could just see the air. It's ridiculous what's going on over here. Look at all this over here, right? There's nothing here. We already confirmed the top. There it is, right? And then again, this is just the last couple of minutes before the close. Doesn't mean shit. Big airspace underneath here, and once that starts, it's just the whole thing collapses. It's a house of cards. Okay, so gold, I'm looking for this to really push down. Potentially, 1320 I think is on tap for sure. Maybe even 1300 depending on what happens later in the week. We'll reassess on Wednesday. Okay. Let's look at nat gas, finally. That's the trade of the week, by the way. If you're going to get into nat gas, it's time. Okay, take a look at the weekly chart first, and you'll notice right down here, an engulfing candle with bullish twins. You'll notice two other things. First of all, this was the low. We came up to here. We made a higher low. And right here, we had an opportunity last week to break the bottom. We didn't. And then we engulfed it this week. Done. Finished. There's nothing here anymore. Look how much air. On the weekly chart, we're talking about this level, which is not even fresh. You're looking about this. All right? It's all the way to 3.6. So there is a massive explosive move coming over here. It's time. We've been going sideways for quite some time. Nat gas does not trade this way. It's been very tame. Somebody's going to let this freaking beast out of the cage, and it's going to just blow up. Okay? So take very careful with any shorts. If you're thinking about getting short nat gas, I would have your head examined. Okay? We're about to really, really rally hard. So you could see that we were in this little daily channel. Boom, 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 boom. You'll see the higher low right there, and now you see the breakout that started on Friday. Okay? There's the higher low here. You see the breakout out of the range. You see we came right up to this little supply over here. We touched a little bit, a little slight pullback late in the day because, again, we're outside the bands and all that fun stuff, but there is nada here. I mean, 2.9 is a given. 3, very likely this week. So 2.9 is there on the chart. It's going to probably cause some trouble only because it's the 200 moving average on the daily as well. And notice it's right at 2.9, 2897, right? So we'll get up there, and then we'll have a little pushback. But this is starting the rally for the bigger move. Okay, this will eventually move all the way up through here and probably get all the way back to 3.6, if not more. So the swing trade is on. Okay, and if you're not in, this is going to be about your last chance, I think, to get into this trade for quite some time. So take a look here on the lower time frame. Really beautiful breakout on Friday, and now we have a really nice looking setup here. Okay. Get down into this, you can see all these on this side. So there's only a couple over here, so there might be one more, maybe early tonight, tomorrow, somewhere, maybe around 2.7 on the 15. There's a zone here. We'll take a look at it. But you want to start buying pullbacks into demand because this thing is going. Okay? Let's go look here. So there's some demand under here. This is pretty good level right around 2.7. And this chop here. All right, so again, you know, nat gas is notorious for gaps on Sunday night, so be careful. Watch what happens on the open, but you want to be starting the by pullbacks. Okay? I would expect to see 2.9 this week. Okay? So far, so good. Got a question? Go ahead. All right, dollar. What are we looking at? On the weekly, so we had the little doji over here, right? And we pushed down and we sort of closed inside the range. So really didn't do much on the weekly chart. Let's take a look on the daily chart, what we got. And we ended up with a higher low and a nice little turnaround over here, right? So for now, you know, the target, I think, again, this week is back into this range over here. So we're looking for another pop up in the dollar. There's a lot of room up here. You can see that. There's no supply at all until we get to 90 plus, which means that the euro shorts are back in play this week. Okay. Oh, let's go take a look. There's a euro charts. Same idea. We got slightly above, rejected. We did close okay, green, right? But we're looking at the beginning of a lower high over here, right? Came back to the demand over here. We touched it. We rallied up for a couple of days, made a lower high. And now what I'm starting to see, I'll show it to you on the 60 to 240, you'll see there's a really head and shoulders forming over here. Look here, look here, look here. Right? So we already have a lower high on the 240 chart over here. Right? And the daily is turning into the lower high. We're going to break down into this thing. At least, again, I'm thinking we need to see that 2.1 still. This area under here is where we're looking for. Push back down into this area for euro. Okay? Take a look on the 60. We'll look at it again. There's our beginning of our lower high, right? And we'll see that there, right, and there, right, we already have this here on the other side already. That's already there, this one and this one, right? And now when we come back to this zone, we pop this. We're easily over here. I think this bottom doesn't hold. We're, you know, breaking underneath this thing because, again, the 240, this is one move up. This is a lower high. We're going to make a lower low. So we're going to break down under this low back here. Okay. Let me zoom out a little bit. Okay. So, right, this was our little head and shoulders area we were looking at over here. We start breaking out underneath this low. Look what's under here. This is the low I'm telling you that we should be breaking under. Nothing. So where are we going back? I mean, this is the area again, back over here. That's the demand zone over here, and that's it. That's the low, the target for this week. I think we break down somewhere into this 122 to 1, somewhere over here. Massive, massive room. So looking for shorts on euro this week. Okay. There we go. Anybody have a question? Go ahead. Let's move on to the yen. So what happened over here? Okay. Notice that the yen 3 weeks ago, after a really nice rally-based rally over here for a couple of weeks, right, broke out. Then we got a gulfing rejection. Then we got another sell-off and another sell-off. We're back into the area of the breakout, basically. And if it doesn't turn around right now, it's over. This will become false, and they go back this way. Finished. False breakout. We're going to touch the other side of the wedge. So the yen is not looking good at all. Eddie has a question. Let's see. Is that an EC question, Ed, or a yen question?
Yeah, no, it was a EC. If you can go back to the 60-minute.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's kind of having a battle there at the top, on the right side.
Yes,
no,
up here.
Where price is right now. No, where price is right now.
Over here.
Yeah.
Here.
What? Yeah. Where do you see the next supply zone?
The next push. Okay.
Yeah, you think it's
all right. Let's see.
124?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah,
Hold on. Let me take a look.
I'm just trying to see what
it would be on a smaller time frame though, right? It would be like on a 15. Let's take a look. Let me zoom in here for a sec because we'll go back over there. So there's not really anything fresh over here, right? This is all a bunch of touched over here. So I would say if we're going to turn around before we get back to the 124, it's on something smaller than the 60. So let's go look on the 15 and see what we got there. I can probably have a zone up there someplace. Zoom out. That's it, man. So that's the 124. If it's going to turn around anywhere before then, it's over here. And then these little twins. You see the little twins over here? This is where the prior low is. Take a look to the left also. Right? Hold on. Somewhere right over here. You see this low over here? It was touched on this side. That's it. I mean, if it gets through that, well, we'd have to assume that it's going to get all the way back to the 124 area after that. So that's really just about it. Stuck in here. I agree with you. It's banging around. If it gets above the 124, it looks like 124, 100. Then we have air all the way back, all the way up to here. So, okay, but that's about it. I don't think it's getting there. We'll find out tonight. But I would expect that this is going to start breaking down. You agree with me or no, by the way?
Yeah.
You looking at the short?
I'm looking at a short,
okay.
But it seems to be pretty populated. So for me to go short, I want it to go down to the 123.69 and then bounce back up again. And then
bounce back up, make a no lower high. Gotcha. Yeah, that makes sense. Yep. Cool. Gotcha. All right, man. Next, Luik has a question also.
Hey, Joe.
Yeah, Luik. What's up, buddy?
On the supply zone that you just drawn, would you actually just put a limit order there, or would you watch it turn around?
I wouldn't only because, when I draw these wicks against the wall, I like to pick the leg up, the leg in, and it's pretty big. You know? So, yeah, I would not put a limit order inside there because I don't know exactly if it's going to stop there. I can't.
You'd watch for a lower high.
Yeah, because it might just get slightly above. Maybe it touches the lows over here for all I know, right over here, this thing, somewhere up here, and then turns around. So I can't pinpoint it. It's not clean enough of a zone for me to put some limit order in there. You know what I mean?
Got it.
All right, cool. Okay. Oh, George has a question also. Cool. Hey, George, what's up?
A quick definition on what wicks against the wall means.
Yes, so no problem. There's a wall back here. It's a big body. I got some wicks banging against for some reason. You see how the green candles rallied up and the price just turned around right there for no reason. I don't see a zone. Right?
Gotcha. Okay. Thank you.
Wick. This is the wall. So normally what I'll do is I'll draw where the wick starts, and then I pick up the leg of where the leg in of the wall is. But in this particular case, when it's really big like this, it's just too big, I'll just pick up the wicks. But if this body, let's say, only got up to here, I would draw the zone like this.
I see.
This would be the zone. Okay?
Good.
Got it?
Thank you.
Wicks against the wall. No problem. Good. Okay, cool. All right. Let's go into JY. So I started talking about JY over here on the weekly chart, right? And telling you that I'm looking at what I think is actually going to be a false breakout over here. I think we're actually coming back into the range, and we should see this demand zone pretty quickly. You could start to see that actually on the daily chart, it's actually starting a little bit. Right? Start to look like a head and shoulders over here. You see it all the way at the top? Right? And we've come to this demand zone back again. It is the one that made the most recent high, so we should get one more reaction somewhere over here that'll give us, some of these things that we have on this side. All right, we'll start to show up over here, so right around 95, and then we roll over big time. Big sell-off coming over here, and based on the weekly chart, we should be getting back to, somewhere around this. This is where the breakout really started from over here, right? This was the bottom down here. See it over here? That's the bottom. Well, we broke out right there, and we just went all the way up there, and we never really came back to it yet. So there's a fresh demand zone sitting right at 9,000. So there's a very nice swing trade setup if this pops up into this supply up here. You're talking about a bit. I don't know if it's going to get there, but again, I think the way to go for yen now is shorts personally. And I think we're starting to roll over. You can see it in the lower time frames. We're looking for pullbacks, and that makes total sense because the equities are about to break out. We know that they're inverse to each other, and that should put a lot of pressure on the yen. Okay. So we're talking about, selling supply zones, basically. Right? Any rallies into supply. Over here is a nice looking zone. Over here is a nice looking zone. That's the 94, 95 is up here, the one I was just drawing out on the higher time frame. If it could get up there, I doubt it. But you can see that we're starting to make lower highs and lower lows, and the trend is turned over on the 60, so shorts are definitely the way to start going. Okay? Big yen shorts. Aussie longs. Aussie longs. I'll say it again. Aussie longs. So we had a really, really nice, I said it last week also, we ended up with a massive engulfing candle here. I think we're watching the next touch of the trend, the channel. That's what we're looking for over here. This is turned around. Start to see the twins develop again. Of course, there's still another 2 weeks over here for the monthly chart, but the weekly's showing me hello. Take a look down here on the daily chart. Very nice demand zone. We banged around for a few days, and boom, went right up into the supply. We got pushed back a little because you can see there's a convergence right in the supply zone of the Bollinger Band and the 50 movage and the 200 moving average. All of it right there. So yeah, we get a reaction, but guess what? We'll pull back. It's the first level of demand after the new high. We should get a pullback into the demand zone. If, for some reason, we end up over here, I would tell you that don't think twice. Just hit the buy button. Somewhere in the 7,700 range is a total buy, because if you're looking over here for that first lower high, remember, you see this over here, maybe comes out over here, and that's right at 7,700. That's the inverted head and shoulder turn. And guess what? Look at all the air. This is 8,000. This is a 7,700 right up to 8,000. There's nothing there because this little supply zone that we're in right now, if it turns around right where I'm thinking it's going to turn around, right over here, right, we're looking at a higher low. Come back to the zone. Zone breaks. Above it is air. Bang. We're at 8,000. So there's a beautiful, beautiful. This is like one of the best trades of the week right now. Long Aussie dollar at 7,700. Right inside this little demand. But over here, I'll zoom down into a 60. You'll see it. I sort of merged the zones over here on the 240. It's like level on level, right? There's a zone here and a zone here. I sort of married them, and it's still only 20-something ticks. I mean, it's nothing. And you can see that it's right under the 50 average, and it's under the Bollinger Bands of the 240. I mean, if we get a nice reaction right out of here, and we take out this zone, we just break down into this sucker, oh boy, just buy. Okay? It's a fantastic trade. Let's still look at it on the 60. So there on the 60, I sort of broke the zones up into two, but it's still, it's the same area, basically. Right? It goes from 77 and change. That's the first part of the zone over here, and this is the lower part, and that's what we're looking for. Can it turn around here? Sure. I have no idea. But, this is buy blindly. Over here, I'll buy after I see it turn around. That's what I'm looking at over here for Aussie dollars. Okay? Cool. BP. BP's been really, really, really strong. Latine has a question. Okay, go ahead, man.
Just on the GC and AD, so if we're expecting gold to short an Australian dollar to go long, is that inverse relation, or I thought it was straight relation?
So, no. So the Aussie dollar and Aussie dollar and gold are correlated. They're not 100% correlated. Okay? As far as the dollar DX and Aussie, very, very small correlation because it's a minute percentage of the index. Right. The DX is a bunch of currencies. The Aussie is like nothing, a couple of points percent. It's nonsense. So it's very possible that the dollar goes up and the Aussie goes up. No problem. Right. Okay. So and again, but when the correlation between gold and Aussie is, they're correlated, whatever, 50, 60% of the time, whatever. So that's not a major issue. The Aussie dollar is looking like it's ready to bust out to the top. So, it's okay that you have sort of conflicting things, even though you have some correlations going on. The correlations are never 100% and especially with the dollar. This is nothing. There's a very small percentage. Okay.
All right. Thanks.
Good. No problem. Next. Okay, pounds. The pound also looks like it's about to move up some more. I mean, it's been really obviously pretty strong over here. It had this little breakout of this little weekly little channel there, and it had the twins, and it reversed it again, and it closed actually above the weekly 200 moving average, which is something that hasn't happened in quite some time. Take a look. Last time we closed above the weekly 200 moving average was 3 years ago. I mean, a really long time. So obviously a very strong move up for Aussie dollars. I'm sorry, sir, BP. Sorry about that. And, you know, right now, what's going on? Well, you know, we just made a new high back here on daily. You could see that. Obviously, it got rejected up there. It got ran up itself into this level up here where the supply was from the Brexit, right? And we're looking at a potential move back to 115 over here. A touch at the top of this trend line up here puts us back, you know, almost into the top of the Brexit area. This candle back here, that was the Brexit sell-off, right? And, you know, we're looking at something, you know, a breakout up here up to 145-ish, I would say. Looks like we're headed next. Let's go take a look on the smaller time frames, what that means to us. So we'll know soon, because here it is, right? There's the first level of demand after the new high, and that's exactly where we're sitting, right? We're sitting right there. There's the demand. There's the new high. It took out this high back here, and we just come back to demand. We have to see if this is going to hold us or not. And if it does, expect another high to move up to 145. Right? So we'll see how that plays. But they definitely don't want to be short pounds over here. Looking pretty strong with some room to go still. So let's take a look at where the next demand, where's the next supply zone on the daily chart. Let's go take a look up there where that is. Oh boy. Okay, so nothing here to 1.5. So there's, you know, there'll be a trend line resistance up here. So yeah, there's just room. There's total room. We're breaking out. There's a higher low over here, right? I don't have to draw. Maybe I do have to draw it for you. But look here. What do you see here? Oh, my drawing is a little sloppy, but okay. Let's try that again. Sucks when you're not using your mouse. I'm using my trackpad on my laptop, so it's a little hard to draw for you guys, but here's the cup. And here's the handle. See it? And there's just air. This is a total melt up breakout coming over here. See it? All these lows back here underneath us, this whole thing, that's all the cup. And here's the handle. And there's the air. There's no supply. The only thing there is a resistance. That's it. So a trend line. So I mean that's probably where it's going to get to at this point. So you want to be long pounds on pullbacks into demand. That's what the chart's telling us. Okay. You see that? Okay. So there's the daily. And there's the level that we came back to on the 60 and. That's it. We need to see if this is going to turn us around again. Clearly in an uptrend, buying pullbacks in demand. Nothing else to talk about. Okay, target 145. Canadian. So we did have a very nice rally this week, as expected. Take a look at the monthly candles. It's starting to look like, obviously, again, a couple of weeks to go, but hey, it looks damn bullish to me. There's the pair of twins a couple of weeks ago, rally, and we take up this supply was here, drop-based drop, gets turned into a rally-based rally. And bang, we end up the week basically at this supply zone, which gives us a little small pullback, right? And that's what it looks like on the 240, right? There's the demand. We touched it. We have a double top here now. So that's what we're a little concerned about over here. I was bullish, but, you know, we're looking at an engulfing candle on the daily chart. And after a big run-up with not really too many pullbacks over here, you know, we based above the 200 moving average for like 3 or 4 days. I think we're going to back test. Because we broke above it over here like 4 days ago, and we never tested it yet. So I think we're going to see a little bit of a pullback. I think this level here is actually going to break with the double top, and we end up back over here, which would be a long entry down over here around 78, 750, call it, somewhere right over here. The first level that we're at, I think, is not going to hold. Again, it is, you know, it's a weekly supply zone. It is the one that made the most recent low, right back here. We take out this low back here. And the base drop into that. So we're starting from down there. There should be a little pullback. That's all we're looking for. Something to test this little area. Break right over here, longs, and then new highs come after that. Okay, target will be back over here above 8,000. So long down here, target here. Guys, somebody go open the front door, guys. Okay. All right, let's go take a look at Canadian on the lower time frame. And they're sitting right on top of the demand. Right? And little top, double top, you can see it right there, and look at all the air underneath us. So I'm pretty sure we're going to see a breakdown out of this thing. That's where we want to get long. That's our long. Right? Yep. There's the little basing. You can see the little shoulders on this side. It's got a little double top going on. There's the middle over here, and then bang, we just retrace the air. Boom, boom, boom. And beautiful demand zone. Okay? So there's a really nice long right there. Looks pretty. All right, let's go look at copper. What do we got going on? So copper has been, on the range bound over here for a little bit. Looks like the whole monthly thing over here. So this whole thing here, it's sort of stuck in between this supply and demand. It is looking to me like it might want to just, come back and break this zone here. We have an issue with the supply right here, right? We turned into right here. This becomes the lower high. Take a look on the daily chart right here, and this is looking like it might break down out of this thing. So we built a bottom out of demand over here. We rallied up. We made the higher low, but once we got up to the supply, we ran into trouble. So we have to see if this can hold this demand zone. This will tell us what's going to happen right here. If this zone breaks, party's over. Copper collapses. We end up at 2.7 down here. The bottom will break over here on the weekly chart. If this 3 level holds right here, we turn around and we'll break up through the top. We'll be back at 3.5 someplace up here. So, it's a do or die time for copper this week. Again, the level that it needs to hold is this 3 zone down here. If it holds the zone, expect 3.5. If 3 breaks, you're talking about 2.7. This whole thing is air. Okay? So, let's see what happens. Don't know yet. Too early to tell. Okay, well, has a question. Yes, Mohan, what's up?
Joe, my question is regarding Australian BP and CAD. Isn't there an inverse correlation with the US dollar index, meaning that you see those 3 markets going up, but you also see the DX going up?
Okay. So again, I'll answer the same question to you that I answered before. Do you know the percentage of the DX versus the currencies that you just mentioned? They're all very small. Very small. The biggest percentage of the DX is the euro. It's 30-something%. Yeah. Aussie is like in the single digits. The yen, I think, is the second biggest. So it's just because the dollar seems to want to rally. That's not so concerning when I'm saying that some of the other currencies that are a small percentage of the dollar, are going to actually rally also. Okay. So yeah, I don't have a problem saying that at all. Okay.
All right.
You're up. Okay. Take a look at the DX percentage indexes, and you'll see what percentage of the currencies are in the DX index. Okay. Because when you're trading, let's say let's call it Aussie dollar. That's straight dollar versus Aussie dollar. Right. That's all it is, 1-to-1. Right. But the DX is not 1-to-1 Aussie dollar versus dollar. It's like 3% or 4% of the DX is Aussie dollars. It's nothing. You know what I mean? So it doesn't make a difference if one is going up. The other one can also go up as well.
Okay.
Good. Next. Copper we just did. Okay, so we said 3 is the magic number. We'll have to find out. It's looking on this over here like we're looking at, head and shoulder stuff. Over here, it started to turn over on the 60 already. Right? Didn't even get back to the supply, but I'm looking at, this. Here's the head. Right? And again, a lot of room down here. So again, this is the 3 number. There it is. That's the demand zone we're talking about. That level doesn't hold. This demand zone right here doesn't hold. We're done. Well, actually, it might be able to get back here, but it's over after that. We're just going to collapse to 2.7. If we are able to hold, we turn around. It's bang all the way up. Thank you. There's the percentages. Nitin, Japanese yen is 13. Pound is 11%. Canadian is only 9%. The krona is what the hell is that? It's a very tiny amount. Where's Aussie? I didn't even see the Aussie dollar on your list. Yeah, the euro is 57%. Thank you. Is Aussie even in there? It's not even in there. There you go. So no problem for it to go. Not even in the top 7. So there you go. So Aussie dollar could absolutely rally as well as the X. Got it? So cool. Thank you, the team, for doing the homework for me. No problem. All right, cool.
What's your password to the parking lot?
I'm almost done. Hold on. Display. You like the parking lot? Yeah, so let's take a look at soy. And so I've been telling us to get long soy for I don't know how long. This week we had that BS, or actually it was last week now, with the, the whole China nonsense. Notice that we just collapsed right into this demand. Boom, boom, we start rallying, we gap up again, and we hit some supply. So again, just, this looks to me, we're done. We're ready to, we back tested over here. We're ready to break out. We're going 1150, baby. That's the target. We need to get into this trade. We're going to have one more chance, I think. It's coming up probably in the next day or two for a pullback into a demand zone to get long soy for a ride up into 1150. Okay, that's what we're looking for. So there's our 60 chart. There's the demand. Oops, closed it. Didn't want to do that. Put it back. That one. Nope. That one. Yeah, there we go. Okay. There's this fresh demand zone with a little gap area in it.
Do you want a jacket?
Right in here. See the demand right there. 1030 is really nice. 1020 is fantastic. Any one of these zones looks to be good. I would try the first one for sure. It's a gap. It's the flip area. Take a look on the other side, right over here. Right? Looks really nice. So this looks to be a spot to get into the long. When I try a limit order, I don't know about a stop, only because, if I can get my stop under here, yeah, I would try it. If I can't, I want to just watch this picture. It might pull down into the 32 for all I know, into the doji. So I'm not so sure about exactly where it's flipping, but I know it's flipping right here someplace. And I'll try to get into the long swing right there. We're looking for 1150. So it's a massive trade. So quite a bit, over $6,000 a contract. Okay, that's what we're looking at for soy, and one more, and we'll be wrapping it up on the bonds. So if you are long bonds, you're screwed. That's basically what it comes down to. This is flipping into a lower high, and we're about to break the bottom. Interest rates are going up, bonds are going down. Engulfing candle over here. Reversal with a lower high after we confirmed this top already. That means we're back here very easily. And at this point, after rallying from here and a lower high in the way, we're going to break the bottom. That's what it looks like. There's this 240. You can see it. Here's the high. Here's the lower high. There we just touched demand over here, and we just flop, 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 flop. This is a bear flag right here. And bang, we're dropping down out of that sucker. And therefore expect interest rates to rise, bonds prices are going down, okay? And that puts the dollar into some strength position, right? Okay. U.S. lower time frame. Let's take a look. There's the supply line. Oh boy, pretty. Okay, nice looking supply right there. If you're interested in getting short, looks very nice. Otherwise, it's just a breakdown out of this level. It's flagging right over here. You can see the bear flag sitting right over here, waiting to break down. So shorts on bonds this week with new lows on tap. I would say we break down underneath this level, potentially into like the 142s. So keep your eye on bonds. Okay. And that is it for this week. If anyone has a question, feel free. Wednesday is a webinar and a trading session. So double session on Wednesday, right? 8:15 and then 10 o'clock for the trading session. Anybody have any questions, feel free. Otherwise, go enjoy your Sunday. I'll see you guys tomorrow on Twitter. All right, wrapping it up. Bye.